Welcome again to the Prospective Series, and today we have here with us Monalisa Kar. Welcome, Monalisa.
Namaskar, and thank you so much, Filzar, for having me here.
Let me introduce you all to Monalisa Kar today. Monalisa Kar is an educator, corporate trainer, business consultant, and the visionary founder of Katha Shastra, my favorite. With nearly 28 years plus experience across 5 industries, Monalisa has dedicated her career to unlocking human potential by fostering emotional intelligence and peak performance at speed. An IIM Lucknow alumnus, Monalisa brings a wealth of knowledge and a deep commitment to educational excellence. Her passion through her work with LSP, there are two copyrighted framework, Sculpt Your Narrative Intelligence, which is NI, and the second is the Reclaim Recode methodology, a powerful framework designed to optimize learning, enhance emotional intelligence, and driving peak performance. And her mission is to build a tribe of 1 lakh women who master emotional intelligence and transformation, thriving at their true selves. How amazing is that? Tell us more about you and your work.
Oh my, you've already shared so much. I'm very humbled. Thank you.
We are
Well,
so glad. We are so glad to have you here. Okay, so just tell us more about you.
pleasure is absolutely mine. So I think what I would say about myself is it's like a roller coaster adventure that I've been through in life in the past 48 years of my life. And what has been the biggest kick that I can take away has been the adversity that came as a gift to me. So when life takes you on a raft, that is when the action begins. So
Absolutely.
whatever I have done is thanks to that timely kick, that raft that I had to maneuver in the open sea. So I'm blessed with two amazing kids. So I say I'm a very
Wow.
proud mom. And a little more as I am living each day doing what I love doing. So there's no work for me. And I keep on doing Katha Shastra. So it's all about telling stories, hearing stories, taking yourself to a transformative journey to evolve at speed. So that is a little bit about what I do every day.
Wow, amazing. Let's dive deep into the topic. I was really curious when I heard that you are choosing this topic as to talk on. So let's begin with what does this mean, living consciously?
Oh, wow, that's such a heavy and loaded question. And in fact, the word itself is weightlifting, like 101 elephants. Erawat is coming along with that, and it's a heavy lifting. There's a lot of myth which is surrounding the understanding of consciousness. Now, what is consciousness? There are so many different levels, like, oh, you have the subconscious, you have the unconscious, you have the conscious. So it's very
Yeah,
confusing, and it's like you are in the park, but you don't know how to enter the park when you see the park in front of you.
yeah.
So let me quickly share a little debunking of the myth and a little more simpler terms to understand what is consciousness. So before we understand consciousness, let's go into what is cognition. Because again, you
Okay.
have to understand. And cognition is basically anything to do with the science, which is logical reasoning, and the art, also the way we process it, who we are, to understand, think,
Yeah.
reason, and interpret what is happening in reality.
Mhm.
So anything that you're doing at the present moment, it is so real to see you, Filza. I love the way you smile, you present yourself, the kind of wisdom that you get. Yet, it is not real because we are connecting through pixels,
Yeah.
through the electrons which is traveling from here to there, where you are and where I am, right? But the cognition itself is so fluid that it is so easy for us to understand what we are connecting together for. right? So let me take you into a little dive. I've got some quick notes here to share. Because again, I wanted to make it very, very simple. Like they say,
Sure.
if you can make it understandable for 7-year-old, then you're done. So of course, my son is not 7 anymore. So till the time my son can understand, he's 12 now. So then I'm like, okay.
It's
So
done.
जो समझ में आया उसको लेके चलते हैं थोड़ा सा.
Absolutely.
First, in cognition, the biggest myth is the confirmation bias, right?
Okay.
We know that, okay, cognition means understand करना है, हमें समझना है. But समझने में, we have a big China wall in between. And that is
Mhm.
called the confirmation bias. So since you started with understanding such an important thing, so let's debunk that. So information bias is what uh, we have is we take the information, confirmation biases, we take the information in
Mhm.
and then we are like, okay, तो हमें ये एक्सपीरियंस है, एक्स वाई जी वाला एक्सपीरियंस है, लेकिन ये तो एबीसी आया, उसमें एक एक्स है.
Okay.
Now we say, okay, ABC is gone. We don't know what is ABC. What
Mhm.
the right? What the fact? Where did the ABC come for? So what we do is we accept the X,
Okay.
and what happens is the ABC is now gone. Now the information, the reality is A, B, C, and X,
Okay.
but we have only taken X. And
Mm.
there is where the break comes, the wall comes, right? It's like a long wall. And now just imagine the kind of things that we have gone through throughout life, and we have taken the X only, or the Y only, or the Z only, and the rest of the alphabets just gone by. And then what we are doing is we are building the entire ship, our architecture of the entire Burj Khalifa, okay? पूरी बिल्डिंग खड़ी हो गई हमारी.
Okay.
And that tells us about reality. So our
Mhm.
reality is not about the remaining alphabets in the series, which is we have conveniently ignored because that is not in our experience. We are
Mhm.
not familiar with it. We have not gotten a belief because we have not read it. And then we are now, out of 26, we have just taken 3 alphabets.
Okay.
Now, this is where the myth begins. So now that is why we say it's Maya. Maya kya hai? It's an illusion of reality. So we are not living, we are not connecting. Are we connecting with Filza? Absolutely. But then it is online. It's
Mhm.
only pixels, it is only electrons. But that is
Mhm.
how we get into our understanding. Now, what is understanding? It's very profound. Understanding is basically organizing whatever information has come, we are organizing it according to our boxes.
Okay.
So we have Filza box, we have, okay, my son box, my friends box, my consultations, my mentees, XYZ boxes, right? My society, my larger audience.
Mhm.
And then what we do, whatever is fit in, acha, chal, now we put it there. So what we are doing is categorizing, which is also called prototyping. So how
Okay.
do we receive information? We prototype it. I'm sure everyone
Mhm.
knows what is prototyping. It's basically testing. Testing how? Because you have an experience. पहले हमें पता था. अरे ये तो मुझे पता है.
Mhm.
Familiarity, right? And then what we do is we test it out.
Mhm.
And now that we are testing it out, what is happening? We are typing, right? So it's like a mental image, or stacking of the things that we are certain about. We have an experience, we have a familiarity. So if I
Mhm.
tell you, okay, socks, so instantly you will go into which socks, Filja?
Mhm.
Your favorite socks, you can see
Yes.
them, right? So it may
Absolutely.
be that socks, but when I'm saying socks, it's again a prototype. So all these items that we can wear in the feet is part of the category, and we are organizing it into socks,
Okay.
right? But the moment we get into socks puppet, we are like, okay, something different is happening. So socks, we understand. What about puppet? Oh my, how come you make a puppet? So if it is not in our experience, then we don't understand it. We just
Or
take the
accept it.
and use the puppet.
Okay, or accept it, like understanding or accept it as
Yes,
we want something we know. Yeah,
absolutely. So
got
now
it.
what happens is now cognition is all haywire. So
Hmm.
the trial and error. Okay, so cognition, right? If we need it to problem solve. And
Hmm.
today, anything, whatever is there, the biggest new tool is problem solving. So if you know how to figure it out, if you know how to connect the dots, you are done. AI can never come get you. So why do we go to OpenAI nowadays? To ask them, oh, figuring it out, we don't have to go to Google and read so many pages. So that's why AI is picking up now, right? But again,
Absolutely.
it doesn't solve problem, it chunks informations, right? So
Yes.
again, the
Sure.
cognition is depending on us. Now
Mhm.
that we have understood what is cognition, there are four ways that we do a work, right? That we do problem solving. It's our ability to
Mhm.
solve problems by connecting the dot, or maybe with our experience, we get it right.
Mhm.
So the
Yeah.
first one is trial and error. So I want to go back to my favorite game. We used to play Mario. सिर मारते रहो जितने ब्रिक में कॉइन किसी में तो निकलेगा. That is trial and error. Right? The next is algorithm. So somebody has told us how to make coffee. Then okay, pani garam karo, get the coffee, beans, roast it a little, and then crush it a little, and then add it a little, and then filter it a little, and you know the step-by-step process. That's called the algorithm, right? So we are going under do 1, 2, 3, 4. So then okay, we have a guarantee to be where we are supposed to be, a desired outcome. Right. The third one is very, very interesting because that is where Katha Shastra come. Heuristics. Now, heuristics are basically shortcuts, right? What we do is, like, for example, if I say, mm, a simple thing, like I say, okay, you go and get butterscotch ice cream.
Okay.
So the person will go, then he will go, okay, let me roam around the whole store. And then finally, I will find out the butterscotch ice cream.
Okay.
Then what does heuristic say? Okay, it is ice cream, right? So I'll go to the ice cream section.
Mhm.
And there I will definitely get.
Butterscotch.
Right. So then heuristics is basically we are finding out through our experiences or the way we have gotten received the information earlier. It's worked. So we take out a strategy, some hack. Right. Now comes the funny part. So then the people who are like me, the scientists who want to get into deep dive. So what they do is they go into something which is called flash of insight.
Mhm.
Okay, that's the fourth way, but it comes, very rarely. Suddenly you have this aha moment.
Mhm.
And there is where the fun begins. Right? So, what is flash? Okay, let me give an example. So, there was an experiment with some time back, and they gave a question to everybody, and they gave a button. Buzzer. You have these buzzers. We used to be,
Yes.
and we used to say buzzer. Bonvita वाला होता था ना quiz. Buzzer
Mhm.
दबाओ. Fastest fingers first, kind of. So, if you know the answer, press the buzzer. Right?
Okay.
You don't
Okay.
have to give the answer. If you know the answer, you just press the buzzer. So what happens is they did the neuroimaging scans of the brain
Mhm.
as to which
Mhm.
part is glowing of the brain,
Mhm.
right? So when they're thinking about the question, so let me share a question. Of course, your audience has to do a little work, okay? So I'll not give the answer. The answer will come later. Okay. So for example, the question was there in the experiment, okay? What word could be added to three words and build a new word? When we were young, we used to do those compounding, take out words and then build a new word.
Yeah.
So the three words are crab,
Mhm.
C-R-A-B, crab, pine, P-I-N-E,
Okay.
pine, and sauce. Sauce is not S-A-C-E, S-A-U-C-E.
Sauce. Yeah.
Right? Now, what happened? The experiment was there, and everybody started pressing the button, and the frontal cortex, that is your thinking brain, right here in the front, that was glowing. But
Okay.
suddenly, just while you're triggered to press the button and it is that speed which is there, right? You have that splash. Oh, this I know,
Mhm.
right? Remember the X that I said, right? So this I know. Then suddenly what happens? Your center just above your ears, you have a very amazing thing which is here. इसलिए कहते हैं ना यहाँ पर दबाओगे और वो कहते हैं ना ब्रेन जिम में कान ये करते हैं. We used to have those punishments in school. That's why we were so good, I guess. Nowadays you are not punished with holding your ears. So you have to hold the ears and pull it, then it is activated, right? So that is the part which is reasoning.
Okay.
So the logic comes from there, right? It's
Hmm.
temple part
Temporal.
temple, okay?
हाँ.
So I don't want to give big words, but just understand just above your ear where you have the temple part, right? It's like when you have a
Temporal
headache,
lobe.
you press here and it just releases.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's how you're having a logic and your reasoning, right? So then what happened is that goes glowing and it goes glowing like a flash. And then what happens is your cognition is excellently done. Now, what was the downside of it? Because we're talking about myth again. The downside of cognition is first is we are filtering and deleting irrelevance, whether they're relevant or not, doesn't matter. We are taking data which may not be factually true.
Mhm.
We are making our own building. We are the
What
architect.
on
We
the
are the
basis of what we already know.
yes. And then comes the flash. The aha moment is there where you have your belief system. So honesty is the best policy. If that has been your belief system, which is missing nowadays, in fact. So then what happens? That flash comes. And these flashes of insights are the ones that brings you brilliance. So there is where you have the whole range that people, neurologists talk about the alpha, beta, and all that. Let's not get into it. When you are totally relaxed and just before and after your sleep, where you are totally rejuvenated, that is the time, like for example, shower, you get these, wow, this is so fitting, right? You figure it out and connect dots just like that. So these aha moments come around that. So whenever we are talking about smart people, these aha
Okay.
moments are frequented.
Okay.
They know how to do it. But the downside here is the aha moments is not accurate.
Okay.
Now that we have understood cognition,
Hmm.
right? Now let's get into a small little framework, right? Prototyping we do. We have to be very
Mhm.
careful of what prototype we do, right? The second is trial and error, which we don't have time nowadays. Attention span is very less, right? So we generally don't get into it. Third is algorithms. Again, it is slow, but then it's like 100% it'll happen because the process has been, processes, they say. People may make a mistake, but processes always deliver, right? And then what happens is you have the heuristics, which is like the shortcut method, right? Somebody has told you. And the last is, of course, when we are talking about the epiphany moments, right? The aha moments, the flash of insight. So once we have understood this, then we can take forward as to what is consciousness. So what is your default mode, which is running autopilot? The moment you understand that and you manage to work on these four paths, you will be mindful and conscious.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for explaining this, Vic. Let's keep time in mind. And can you explain about the three quotient which you were talking about, EQ, SQ, and SQ?
Oh, yes. So when we want to, now we have understood what is cognition and how is it connected to consciousness. Now let me just take 5 minutes and then we can close this because this was the main part, right? So what I want you to do is there is an acronym that will help you to go step by step and it's a small hack. Okay. So don't worry, you don't have to spend too much. The acronym is called THINK, right? I want you to remember think when I talk about EQ, SQ, and HQ.
Okay.
Because to add value to your life, to add meaning to your life, you need
Mm-hmm.
to you need to regulate these three things. So co-regulate means you need to have that kind of connection with somebody to help you to regulate things. Like for example, we depend on a thermometer to regulate our temperature of our body. Similarly, you can depend on this acronym that will help you to co-regulate, right? Or maybe a person that you can trust, or maybe coaches like Filza. You need to get to her. She's amazing. So what is the acronym? It's THINK. THINK, think. So T is thoughtful awareness. So you're noticing what you're thinking. Am I thought aligned or is it harming me? Is it working towards me or not? H is reasoning. But how reasoning? Higher order reasoning. Okay, should I pause and first go through what are the evidence that is there? Is it
Hmm.
factual or not? I is insight building. Insight building is where you stack up connecting the ideas and build concepts,
Mhm.
right? So that you know, okay, this is coming, then this will happen. So, for example, we are doing this conversation. Filza has done amazing work in podcasting, so she is brilliant in doing it. So that is the insight building. She's built, okay, this is how it should go. She has that insight. Then the neural balance. Neural balance is aligning logic, but not jumping. Oh, I know this. So allowing logic to be balanced with emotion. So my heart is thinking, my brain is thinking, let's go in between. What is needed? What is the balance? And K is about knowledge of action. So first you have to be mindful about knowing exactly what you have collected data and how you have to react or respond to it.
Okay.
Right? So let's go into understanding what are the three quotients. So quotients came into being because the concept or the word itself, emotion quotient, came from Daniel Gordon. So he said, like, you know, we have two minds, the thinking one and the feeling one. And the secret is when we are balancing both.
Yes.
Right? And this is what Rumi also said. The more you sit still, I'm paraphrasing what they said, is more you sit still, you're with yourself, the wiser you become because you're able to hear these four biases that you pick up. Right?
Yes.
So understanding that, let's go to EQ. EQ is nothing but being able to connect, the ability to connect by feeling, by being
Got it.
empathetic,
Yeah.
by
Yes.
understanding emotions,
Yeah. Yeah.
not only yours, but people around you, right? So you're not, you can only understand people if you understand yourself. So
Hmm.
emotional quotient is your own intelligence to trust yourself, being empathetic, being compassionate about what is there that you are as an emotion. So it's awareness. Plus, you should know, okay, I am resilient. So I should be able to, so name it to tame it, right? The tagline that it goes like, I keep saying, name it to tame it. So, okay, if I want to be resilient, then what do? Okay, I need to be able to communicate with me empathetically. What is it that I am able to maneuver? Why am I resilient? And then
Mm-hmm.
that becomes your prototype,
Okay.
right? So this is EQ. Now,
Okay.
what is HQ? Now, you have done work on yourself, right? आपने अपने इंद्रियों पे विजय पा लिया. All horses are in your control now, or maybe in regulation with you, and you're communicating with them, right? Constantly. And then it becomes the human quotient. Human quotient is the ability to understand your authenticity
Mm-hmm.
and the person in front of you, the humanity, the social being, the presence of all human beings, and do it how? Ethically. What is the right thing to do?
Okay.
So you have
Amazing.
this story where a child is stealing because the bread. So is it ethically correct or not? So you should know exactly what is correct and what is wrong,
Yeah.
right?
That's human
So
quotient.
yeah, that can come only when you have awareness of yourself. That is EQ. That is where you extend. So here what happens, empathy is there, but you have equality and ethics. You're
Got it.
inclusive. All
Hmm.
this is the human quotient, everybody around you. So India is pretty human quotient now compared to
Yeah.
the kind of relationship and diplomacy that we are having around the world. So that's a
Yes.
great example. Then comes SQ. SQ is okay, great. We have built that relation. We have started it. But now, how do you maintain it? You maintain it with SQ, that is spiritual quotient, right?
Okay.
Where you're adding the inner harmony, the balance, the alignment. You're interconnected. We are basically, by quantum physics, Filza and me are same. We are just vibrating differently,
Absolutely.
so we look different. So you are in harmony. We understand that, and then find out the meaning of it,
Mm-hmm.
the sacredness about it, and then get into connecting, interconnection. So, like how trees have interconnected networks, right? They tell each other, oh, this is the, I am sacrificing myself, but the rest can live. I'm not saying to sacrifice, but that is how they are in harmony. So if I have a onslaught of any disease, any infestation, they save the entire forest. They die. So that is the
Okay.
spiritual portion. We are including everybody. So over to you.
Wow. Thank you for simplifying it for all of us, for my audience. It's amazing how you simplified EQ, HQ, and SQ. So let me just, I want to ask too many questions. Let's keep the time in mind. What are the three things, quick three things you want to share that add value to human life?
Okay, so since I've come by sharing about the quotients, let me give you one of each, right? So when we are talking about the heart, because heart comes first and emotion is always going here and there, right? And it's great to have emotions. We are human beings, and especially Bharatiya Indians, we are a plethora of emotions. So the first thing is consciously connecting yourself to yourself.
Absolutely.
That's the
Absolutely.
first thing. If you want to add value to your life,
Mm-hmm.
meaning and purpose and whatever you want to say it, first is connection to self. So build
Mm-hmm.
that relationship with your roots, knowing your roots. But you should
Got
be
it.
empathy. You should be empathetic to yourself. You should be calmer, and you should have the presence. Okay, I want to do it. It takes effort, right? That is your heart EQ. Now let's go to HQ. HQ, as I told you, it's about purposeful contribution. What
Mm-hmm.
is it that in the plethora, in the whole universe, I am just a speck of dust? What is my contribution to humankind is going to make me a legacy. So think about that. Even if it is that small little bird going, with his small little beak going and trying to stop the fire. That is
Mm-hmm.
purposeful contribution. It's a gift not only to yourself, but the greater good. That is the
Absolutely.
HQ.
Mm-hmm.
Taking inclusive about the whole humanity. And of course, you should have values coherence. That's for your soul. The thoughts, the emotions, the actions. What you talk is what you walk.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
be coherent with your values. Because the moment you get this balance there, you will add on to the baggage. And
Mm-hmm.
then, it'll be difficult. So now, maybe a one liner. It's more that you should be connecting to the right people, just like Vilza and the coaches, to get your shit sorted out, of course, as a byproduct, but get yourself evolving to the next step.
Absolutely.
So it's called the CPI,
Okay.
conscious connection, purposeful contribution, and coherence, inner coherence. CPI.
Wow. CPI. Wow, thank you. Thank you for all the gift, all the wisdom you have shared here. And I am sure you have a lot of free gifts for our viewers. So can you please guide our viewers through the free gifts little bit?
Absolutely. As my humble thank you to Filza, who is awesome. Anybody who connects to me on Instagram, that is Katha Shastra, SHAATRA, it's Shastra, uh, and sends a DM to me after following Filza Zabeen. They need to write down the name Filza Zabeen, otherwise, I'm not going to be able to see it, right? So, if you write that down, what you will be getting is a 7-day challenge on co regulation and all the three cues that we talked about on emotional balance. And that's like 6 days of self action. So, that is a gift from my side as a thank you to Filza.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much for your generosity. I'm really grateful for your time. So, all the viewers, you are going to get Katha Shastra link of Instagram where you can connect with Monalisa and DM her my name, which is Filza Jabin, to get that course which she is offering absolutely free as you are part of this communication, this talk show, the prospective, keeping the future in mind. So you just need to write my name and she will give you her 7-day course. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. I will put everything in the description box for all of you. Thank you, Monalisa. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for your time. I am really happy and excited that how people are going to take all the information which you have shared right now. Thank you so much once again.
My humble thank you to you, and I'm very grateful. You are amazing, and more power to you.
Thank you so much. With that, we are taking a leave for this week. We will again meet with one more expert next week, same time, Sunday, 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Bye bye.